Hi, I'm Ben Harper.
Hey, this is Brad Lukowicz. Hey, this is Lou Temple. You know me as Axel on The Walking Dead.
This is Smooth Bester Henderson.
Hi, this is William Duvall, singer of Alice in Chains.
Hi, this is Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo.
Hi, I am Zach Ward.
Hey guys, it's Alexis Ajoria, 7-time NHRA National Event Champion.
Hey, what's going on? This is Bubbles.
This is Ricky. This is Julian.
And you're listening to the Toddcast podcast, baby.
And just like that, we're starting up year 8 of the podcast. And holy shit, you do not know how much of a mind bender that is for me. Considering back in 2014, I thought I'd create the podcast. We'd fire it up in 2015, maybe have it for a year or so, but nope. Turns out we're throwing stones now to 10 years. And hell, at this point, that might even happen. And we're coming out of the gate swinging in 22. Longtime WWE tag team wrestlers, the Bollywood Boyz, are guests this week.
Yeah, so in WWE, we showed up as the Bollywood Boyz, pretty much what we were doing on the independent circuit throughout Canada or around the world. So we showed up as the Bollywood Boyz, but when they saw that opening with gender as far as that world title run that they wanted to do and really capitalize on the Indian market, if we were rebranded as the Singh Brothers. So at first, here's a billion dollar company telling you kind of like, hey, like, we want to bring you on board, but there's a little revamp.
Joining the Bollywood Boyz, Real Housewives of Dallas alumni LeeAnne Locken is a guest this episode. She has a ton of people following her online, like close to 1 million alone on Instagram.
I do feel I've always felt a certain amount of pressure to be responsible for what I produce, what I put in the world. And so I've really kind of pushed that on Instagram. I've had these, I've had great ideas that I've yet to put forward into implementation. And I think you're going to see me doing a lot of that this year.
And you'll hear from this week's musical guest in just a minute. Coming up in about maybe 10 or 15. In Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, Riverdale actor Ryan Robbins talking about the Watchmen graphic novel and the excellent writing of Alan Moore, one of the best, no doubt, in the biz. That is powered by Puff. Get 20% off regularly priced cannabis accessories and apparel with the code TODCAST in store and online at puff.ca.
Nude Vodka Soda powers the Toddcast podcast. Sugar and sweetener free with just 100 calories and 0 carbs per serving. Visit them online at nudebeverages.com.
And you gotta love Nude Vodka. Renewing their sponsorship over the winter break. They're back on for all of 2022. Big love for this company. I mean, obviously great drinks, but one of the reasons I wanted to partner with these guys, did you know that they give a portion of all sales to local SPCAs across the continent? It's very cool. All right, let's get to the first of 3 guests this week. Our musical guest, Americana singer-songwriter Kyle McKearney. That is brought to you by Pineapple Sound, a recording and mixing studio in Langley since 2013. They welcome podcasts, voiceover actors, and a lot more. Check them out through pineapplesound.com. Tell them the Toddcast sent you. As mentioned off the top, we're into year 8 of the Toddcast, and you've heard Kyle McKearney's music since we launched. It's the intro and the extra music, that huge riff off the top, the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. That's Kyle's band way back, about maybe a decade back now, called Hard Honey. So when I was starting up the podcast, I wanted to have a really big sound, something memorable, and Kyle's music's just that. It's memorable, full of hooks. It's catchy as hell. Here's a guy, he's born and raised, small town BC, Fort St. John. I think we talked for just under 20 minutes. You can hear it now. You can see it as well. We did the interview on Zoom at our iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube accounts. They're all at Toddcast Podcast. Here, Kyle talks about the music in his house as a kid growing up.
Yeah, they loved Johnny Cash. So there was a lot of Johnny Cash, and there was a lot of like Jim and Jesse. They're brothers who are a bluegrass duo, and the Osborne brothers, the old ones, not the new ones. The old ones were like a bluegrass, group as well.
Yeah,
and then a lot of Waylon and George Jones and Merle Haggard, classic country, and those bluegrass bands and acts. Alison Krauss, I listened to a lot of that. And
whenever you get accolades from your peers, it's always a good thing. It's a great thing. We talked to Kyle about being nominated for an Alberta Country Music Award, in my opinion, for one of the best categories going.
Yeah, thanks. It's Roots Artist of the Year. So that's a really cool honor to be nominated, just to be recognized and kind of, accepted into the Alberta club, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
It feels really cool. It's new still, and it's kind of, I haven't been around that long doing this. So it feels really good to be accepted,
Yeah, totally. And, like you say, it's kind of fairly new for you. I followed your career, I think almost from the start. And, I've seen you command each genre that you've done, from rock to pop, now to Americana, which I think we talked last time. I'd said, this kind of feels like it's your wheelhouse, dude.
Yeah, it definitely does. I like it a lot. It's just where I come from, my played, and they were all about the bluegrass and country, and I just grew up running around listening to that all the time and playing it with them and with my dad. So yeah, it's definitely in the genes, in the blood, for sure.
As we do with all of our guests, we get into a lot more than the things that they're known for. We got into the 5-year goal for Kyle. He shared a near-death story involving a moose, a casino blackjack story, the worst job he's had, the shows he's been binge watching.
Oh, we just did The Witcher. We did
great series.
We love our shows. Like that's something that Sarah and I have always done together, is kind of binge watch shows. And The Witcher was really good, kind of dark but really cool. Wheel of Time, Yellowstone.
Wheel of Time, never heard of it. Yellowstone's great too.
Yeah, Yellowstone's good. The Wheel of Time one is it's another fantasy one that's kind of it's the Robert Jordan books. So Robert Jordan wrote the Wheel of Time series, and it was a very big kind of a 10-book epic, and it's really cool, really imaginative, really brilliant stuff. But we love Yellowstone, and then the spinoff 1883, we've been watching that, and it's been really cool.
And we got to talking about sports with Kyle as well, and how he's a longtime supporter of the Edmonton Oilers.
I've always liked the Oilers. Don't tell anyone that, but
I'll edit that out.
Yeah, I like to be supportive of of our teams and of our city. So we go to Flames games sometimes. And
yeah,
I just Saddledome. I like seeing concerts in there. I have Chris Stapleton tickets actually when he comes in May.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but not a huge I can't name the players anymore. I used to be able to. I'm
the same way, man. And that's unfortunate for me. Like, that's the way I used to be, but now my kids are like that. And they're showing me pictures like, who's this again? I'm like, oh, if you showed me like 90s players, I could tell you, but today, don't have the brain capacity for it now.
Big Vancouver fan, like a Canucks fan, when, Bure and Linden and the Sedins were on that team, and they were New York for the Cup. And that was a cool era of hockey. I really liked that.
Musical guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Pineapple Sound, providing recording and mixing services for a wide range of artists and genres since 2013. Check them out at pineapplesound.com.
Left my home when I was 14. Daddy went to Nashville chasing dreams. My brother was young and my mom was high. Daddy said, son, you better get tough or die. Left that oil town behind my back. Worked my guitar like a paperback. Saw the writing on the marquee sign. It said, son, you better get tough or die. 'Cause this world can be hard. son, you be brave and strong. We work long days while the days are long. When you reach down and the wells won't dry, son, you better get tough or die. 'Cause this world can be hard on every part of us. It takes courage to survive. So get tough or die. When all you wanna do is sit and grind, get tough or die. Because the streets get cold at night. Get tough or die. And try to keep your head high. Get tough or
die. Red Truck Beer, delivered fresh, the official beer of the Toddcast podcast. And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
There are many roles where you would know actor Ryan Robbins, more recently from Riverdale, where he plays Fred Andrews. But dig into his career, and you've seen him on Stargate Atlantis, Sanctuary, Battlestar Galactica, Pure, X-Files, Van Helsing, Arrow. And it's cool because he's local, born in Victoria. Last I heard, he was living in Squamish, and he and I go back to the late 90s when he was playing in a Vancouver rock band. He's a really good guy. It's been fun to watch him climb the acting ladder. And when Ryan was a guest, we talked about seeing In Excess in concert, the shows that he was binge watching. He talked about advancing your career, the superpower of teleportation, his thoughts on legalized weed. We got into comic books, the UFC, Canucks hockey, aliens, and our short attention span to the news cycle, growing up with the music of Motown and old country. And stop me if you've heard this before, Ryan talked about the Watchmen graphic novel and Alan Moore's incredible writing.
Look, that won real mature literary awards. Like it won the bigs, you know, like a novel. So a funny story, I was shooting this movie that I don't think anybody saw called Passengers, not the recent one, it was an older one with Anne Hathaway and Patrick Wilson and Diane Wiest and David Morse. It was an incredible cast. And I was shooting this movie, and I knew they were looking at doing the new Watchmen movie, and this was back when like Keanu Reeves was attached to be Dr. Manhattan and stuff. And all of a sudden, Patrick Wilson shows up on set. And he's got the Watchmen graphic novel. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing with that? And he's like, oh man, he pulled me aside and he sort of told me they were looking at him for Night Owl. And I was like, I know everything about this book. I know everything. And so we talked and talked and talked. Then they start shooting it, and I had got to know Zack Snyder a little bit. I was going to be in the thing. It was a whole crazy. I get this call to go to the table read because Billy couldn't make it. So would you come in and just fill in and be Dr. Manhattan and play the role with the entire cast and all the producers and Zach? And I thought, well, this is my chance. And it was amazing. And I looked across the table, and Jackie Earle Haley, full character as Rorschach at the table read, and I was like, oh, this guy is perfect. It was so cool, man. Like, just to see like Patrick get that call at the very beginning, and then I don't know if he had something to do with me being at the table read, and then I got cast in it, and then I had a scheduling conflict and couldn't do it, and I was like,
oh man.
Stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Puff, purveyors of quality cannabis accessories since 1995. Use promo code TODCAST and get 20% off regularly priced accessories and apparel in-store and online at puff.ca.
Of your lips, the weight of your tongue. like I'm someone. I don't wanna waste my time, I feel the line. Decisions that keep me awake for a long time. In the bathroom of this basement, tell me how I got here naked. Is it a bad way to phrase it? I'm sick of feeling like I embrace that I hate myself. Yes, I'm the same when I give it up. Constantly running away from a problem. Making mistakes, pretend I'm not wrong. It all catches up just the same in the long run. In the bathroom of this basement, tell me how I got here naked. Is it a bad way to phrase it? I'm sick of feeling like I embrace that I hate myself. I can't stand myself. Slave away the guilt. I don't wanna waste my time, I feel alright. At least that's what I tell myself when I get high. In the bathroom of this basement, tell me how I got here naked. Is it a bad way to phrase it? When I'm sober, I'm getting wasted. In the bathroom of this basement, tell me how I got here naked. Is it a bad way to phrase it? I'm sick of feeling like I embrace that I hate myself. Hate myself. Hate myself.
That band is from Edmonton, Alberta, Nicholas Rage, and a new song for those guys called Wasted. And if you dug that one, maybe rock a Google search and dig up the rest of their stuff. Killer band. It's only a matter of time before they're a household name. I played you this week's musical guest, Kyle McKearney, and a track off of his recently released new Americana album called Down Home. The song you heard was called Tough or Die, and expect some big things out of Kyle as well in 2022. Now, coming up in just a few minutes in Listen to This, Naked News host Marina Valmont talking about her love of comic books and Comic-Cons and dressing up in cosplay. That is powered by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, RV service and repair, ICBC accredited. Find them on Facebook and on Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies. Now, first, the second of three Toddcast guests is our sporting guest, longtime WWE tag team wrestlers, the Bollywood Boyz. That is powered by Capit Chilliwack, providing the best quality products and services for you and your truck. We're talking tules and tonneau covers, rooftop tents, camping chairs that are just amazing, step bars, floor liners, high quality aftermarket vehicle accessories online through facebook.com/ChilliwackCapit. The Bollywood Boyz have been wrestling for a good chunk of their lives. We're going back to their time in the ECCW, where they won the Tag Team Championship 5 times between 2011 and 2015. They made their WWE debut on SmackDown in April 2017. They were repackaged as the Singh Brothers. They were also the managers of Jinder Mahal, who you'll know as a WWE champion. They eventually started wrestling on 205 Live and then changed back to the Bollywood Boyz in October 2020. Fast forward 8 months, they were released from their WWE contracts in June 2021. As you'll hear in the full half-hour interview, they're working on getting back to the big show, which is likely only a matter of time. You can hear the interview, see it on our social media platforms at Toddcast Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You're going to love them talking about their career highlights.
Well, Harv, I think you'll have one and I'll have one, so I'll let you go first.
Your highlight? Yeah, one.
I think for me, it's going to be Madison Square Garden, wrestling at Madison Square Garden, sold out Christmas. It was like we had a 5-day Christmas loop. Like we flew out day of Christmas, landed in New York, and it's Madison Square Garden, 20,000 people. And I still remember we wrestled R-Truth for the 24/7 championship. And I just remember walking out, you know, I won. I beat Gerb actually. It was just a fun moment. But even like as fun as it was, there's still that moment you take. I'm like, man, I'm walking out of Madison Square Garden with a WWE title with the logo on it. And it's in my bag, and you know, I get to my hotel. I'm like, holy crap, this is pretty cool.
I got two that stick out of my mind, Todd, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Definitely wrestling at Rogers Arena, you know, GM Place for some people. So, You know, very first event we saw was in July of 1996 with our parents, and for them to come back with us and to be able to have them watch us, you know, front and center in the ring performing live. That's like, you know, for our dad and mom, like, you know, just standing in front of that in the middle of the ring, like with them, that's a surreal moment.
As a parent, I'm literally like my hair on my arm.
That's cool, man. So like Rogers Arena, and then second would be Air Canada Center in Toronto, because Harv and I, when we were busting our ass trying to get to the WWE, real quick story, we snuck in past Air Canada Center security, lying to them that we were booked as extra talent for WWE, which we were not, but we got to the back. We were hustling, handing out our 8x10 promo pictures with our information behind it. Eventually, we get caught for being there when we were not told to be there, and we got kicked out of the arena. But we go back to Air Canada Center, and that's where we sign our full-time WWE contract. So
nice.
Yes, so it all came full circle.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we got into a lot of topics with the Bollywood Boyz, like the music early on in their lives.
For me, growing up, got really introduction to Tupac. I was a big Tupac guy, still am. I grew up on the 90s hip hop, like that Snoop, Dre, West Coast. For me, I still listen to that. I can't, like, no disrespect to the new music or the new content out there, but I just can't get get into it. So for me, I keep it 90s, keep it old school. For me, Tupac, all these years later, like 20 plus years later.
Pretty old school. It's still like Metallica and Johnny Cash and stuff like that. It doesn't change, you know, at this point.
Here's a story for you, Todd. Like we didn't really listen to any of that, any of the Metallica until we got on the road in wrestling. I'm talking about pre-WWE. Yeah, so like a lot of the veterans that we were traveling with back in the day when we were breaking out into the business, they would play Guns N' Roses, Metallica, and that's when I was like, man, this shit's awesome. This shit gets you jacked up. You could be driving. You could be driving at 2 a.m. in the morning, going to like Lethbridge, and like, you know, Metallica, Turn the Page comes on. You're like, okay, shit, here we go. Like pedal to the metal.
That's awesome. Something about music. It's definitely a game changer for sure.
Right.
And we talked about the UFC as well, specifically George St. Pierre, I guess the whole Canadian angle, and the arrival of WWE star Brock Lesnar to MMA.
Early on, I mean, I was big into UFC when like GSP was there. I remember when Lesnar was, you know, first coming on the scene. Like that's when
How crazy is that? Lesnar, like, really just coming in and like destroying people. It's like, well, he's a fucking tough guy, even though he's like, these are pre-planned moves in the WWE and wherever he's wrestling and stuff. But like,
really tough.
He's still tough as nails, man.
Yeah, and that was 15 years ago. And fast forward now, and he's still just the beast that he was back then. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I was going to say, man, I saw a picture of Brock Lesnar on Twitter or like Facebook or something like that about a week back. And it was when he was like 18 or 19 years old. And he was so freaking jacked.
Yeah.
Like his neck muscles were like, and
hey, Todd, like, I don't know if you know, but we've been to Suplex City. I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube or not, but
no.
Yeah. We had a segment with him a few years ago. So, yeah. Which a lot of people were concerned for our well-being, but we made it home.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have 100 pounds on you guys.
Right. You see the new picture with him and Gretzky and Rick was it Tocchet that he's with or somebody else? But this picture of Gretzky and Lesnar together from last week is very recent.
Toddcast Sporting Guest visits are powered by Capit Chilliwack, providing the best quality products and services for you and your truck. Online at facebook.com/ChilliwackCapit. The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca. And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
You'll likely best know Marina Valmont as a Naked News host, or maybe it's her Twitch stream. It's big. Regardless, she has a massive following, close to 150,000 people between Twitter and Instagram, or maybe you'll know Marina from creating content for Tempted. At any rate, when she was a guest, we talked about her first concerts, seeing Vince Gill and going to Cher in Vegas. WandaVision came up, and she talked about cooking vegan and traveling the world, the power of teleportation, living in Jamaica and Panama at the start of the pandemic, how she met Chris Evans at the Playboy Mansion, and Marina talked about being a comic book nerd and going to Comic-Cons and doing cosplay as Harley Quinn and Venom. Listen to this.
I am.
Love it.
I go to Comic Cons, fan expos, I cosplay.
Nice.
And that's something I do on Twitch too.
Okay, so what's the best outfit that you've worn to a Comic-Con?
Ooh, I don't want to be typical with my Harley Quinn answer.
Yeah.
But actually, no. No, I got body painted for New York Comic Con and I covered it for Naked News. I was Venom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What did they do with
That
your
was-
face and the tongue and all that? And the big ass teeth and
No tongue, but like my body was really cool. I had contacts on and it was the whole like gray, black theme. It was like, well,
very cool.
really, I scared a lot of people that day.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC approved repair shop. Find them online at tedcorvsuppliesinc.com.
Oh, I've heard this is how we go. And I guess I'm no different. Well, I'm no different, and now I know. Yeah, 'cause I'm okay always. Calling on you, I'm calling on you, loving and loving on you, loving, yeah, calling on you, I'm calling on you, loving on you, loving, yeah. Oh, I've heard this is what we do. And I think now I feel it. Oh, I feel it because of you. Yeah, and I'm okay always. Calling on you, I'm calling on you, loving on you, loving, yeah, calling on you, oh, I'm calling on you, loving on you. Baby, yeah, you used to think, and so did I, what we had would go right, 'cause that's how you've seen it go. Whoa. Baby, not for us, I know.
Song's been my jam for the last couple of weeks. His name is Ivan Hartle, and a new song for him, a new song for the podcast. If you haven't picked it up yet, it's called Lovin' On Ya. Kind of reminds you of Bahamas, doesn't it? It does for me anyway. You heard Johnny Rath and a song for them called Pixie Dust. Here's another one of Vancouver's gems. If you haven't heard much out of their camp, well, you're not alone. Fair enough, I guess, though. You really haven't heard much out of most indie bands during the pandemic. What a shit show. Cannot wait to get back to normal with shows and walking around and hugging friends and dancing. And anyway, speaking of live music, check the indie scene at toddhancock.ca for a small list of shows. If you're playing one or going to check out a show, let us know about it, especially if it's indie. We'll post it up at the website. That is brought to you by our friends at Mystic Rhythms Rehearsal Studios, talking 40 plus years experience in the music industry. Great jam spaces. Find out more through mysticrhythms.ca. Okay, our final guest of this episode 264 is Real Housewives of Dallas alumni LeeAnne Locken, this week's entertainment guest. That's brought to you by Sacred Meds, the best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary in Canada. Use the code TODCAST. You'll get 10% off your order at checkout. Check them out through sacredmeds.com. Outside of Real Housewives of Dallas, LeeAnne is a Miss USA finalist, born in Pasadena, Texas, raised by her grandparents in Houston, Texas, eventually moving to Chicago to get into modeling. Then it was off to LA to look at acting. LeeAnne left Real Housewives in February 2020, and fans were not happy about that. They took to social media to voice their disapproval, like what was going to happen? What was the show going to be like now with one of the most controversial cast members gone? If you've watched the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about, throwing her purse at the camera in the middle of a fight with her co-star Tiffany Hendra, smashing glasses. I mean, you got a real straight talker when it came to LeeAnne on that show. And at almost half hour, the interview we did with LeeAnne Locken is now posted. You can hear it. You can see it. It's another Zoom chat at our iTunes and Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube links. I hear she talks about the cameras. They're being around 24/7. Do you ever get used to that?
Yeah. You know, I kind of grew up in show business. So for me, doing plays and, you know, honestly, growing up on the carnival really kind of desensitized me to people's opinions. So you think about it, I started in pageants and then I went from pageants to modeling and then from modeling to acting. And then, so yeah, people never really bothered me. But it also wasn't right. And it wasn't my first reality show. So I had sort of been really put through it with TV Land's She's Got the Look. So I kind of was ready for it.
We talked about the music that was in LeeAnne's house as a kid growing up, and then she drops this bombshell.
Well, so my biological father played in a band with Waylon Jennings in the garage.
No, really?
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I have a huge love for music. I've always said music soothes the beast. Music can bring emotions out in you that you weren't sure you had. I mean, music has always been my go-to for energy, for enlightenment, for joy, for solace. for motivation, and anger. I mean, let's get it. There's a lot of anger songs in there too. So
Sure.
I love music. And so, yeah, I kind of grew up with, I forget who made them, like the Songbirds and they were like mixed tapes, but they were mixed LPs.
Yeah, like Songbird is Anne Murray.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like different, all different, because, I'm a huge Elton John, Billy Joel, Tom Petty. Yeah, shoot, there's a lot of it. I mean, and then again, I kind of mix stream because I am a Gemini. So I also love Live and Eminem and Cardi B, and you just never know. My music sets my mood for me.
And LeeAnne talked about lives changing during COVID and how it gave her time to bang out some real nice home renovations.
We changed our lives a lot, to be honest with you. For the first year, we did nothing but like renovate the backyard. We have 2 different backyards. We renovated backyards. I completely redid the dining room. I completely redid the back living room. I think when I started, my goal was, I don't want this house to look anything like what it looked like when we were filming. I just don't want anything to remind me of that, So I took a sponge and I faux painted the back of the house completely myself. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I just did it. And it looks great. Like, people are like, you did that? And I'm like, I know.
All this time in my hands. Like, yeah, I'm going to try shit.
Did. NCIS on TV nonstop and sponging away,
Yeah.
So it was great. And I honestly, I thought, all that time that you never have time to really look at where you are. You're so busy looking at where you want to be. So I started looking at where I was, and I was like, you know what? Now I'm going to take the money that I've earned and I'm going to put it where I want it. And that's what I've done. And it has been a godsend. I mean, we've loved everything we've done. My poor husband, I will say though, there's this new thing at my house. I'm not allowed to say, you know what I was thinking anymore, because my husband realizes that means he's going to have to work. And I'm like,
you know what I was thinking?
Oh, I've already told him I want to paint the house. So he's like, oh my God.
Bracing for all your shit, yeah.
Toddcast Podcast entertainment guest visits are powered by Sacred Meds, the best cannabis and psilocybin dispensary in Canada. Available online at sacredmeds.com. Use promo code TODCAST at checkout for 10% off everything in store.
And when you know the lineage behind that band, you really will come into it with a different perspective and almost expecting something out of that project. They're called Good Is Gone, and a new song for the podcast called Oh Lenore. And yeah, you do know that voice. It's Matt Wood, the singer-drummer of Pride Tiger. So that's a new project that he's been working on these last couple, 2-3 years.
Your best way to hit the slopes this winter is with the Cypress Mountain Sky Card. Visit cypressmountain.com for details.
I mean, and how lucky are we that we have that mountain? Literally, like, look across North Shore Mountains. Ah, hear that? Cypress Mountain. It's calling your name. Hey, looking forward to next week. Theory of a Deadman bassist Dean Back is a guest, and he's a longtime buddy of the podcast. We've known each other since before the release of their debut. And I said to him, can you believe how big your band got?
Not really. No, sometimes I think like I was on Spotify the other day, and like RX, I think, has 180 million streams, and it's just, it doesn't register.
Like what?
Yeah. I don't know. I pinch myself every time we're about to hit stage and get to see rooms full of people, and then reminiscing with you about the back of the early days and getting started and thinking about how far we've come. And yeah, no, it is hard to believe over the 20 years what we've been able to accomplish.
And that's another thing. 20 years. How the hell did that happen? Man, time flies. So joining Theory of a Deadman bassist Dean Back next week. He was a buzz in the hockey world only a couple of weeks back, kind of getting into a bit of a chirping match with that rat, Brad Marchand. Carolina Hurricane Center Vincent Trocheck is a guest. And if you don't know the content creator Brittle Star, you're doing it wrong. Stuart Reynolds, Brittle Star, joins us next week. We give big thanks to this week's guests as well. Americana artist Kyle McKearney, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for providing the music for this podcast. Looking forward to your next show here in Vancouver and maybe a couple beers or 3 or 4 or 5. WWE Tag Team Wrestlers, Bollywood Boyz. I mean, what a trip to get a return email from you guys saying that not only, yes, you'll do it, the podcast, but that you were fans of me during my time at CFox. Mind blower. Very cool to talk, and thank you so much for taking the time. And Real Housewives of Dallas alumni LeeAnne Locken, thank you for taking the time as well, for jumping on a Zoom. We had a great talk. You're fun. We should do it again sometime. And that's going to do it for this one, episode 264 in the bag. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please tell your friends, subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, comment, like, rate, all that stuff. It helps out with search results. Again, the podcast, Toddcast Podcast. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. It's cheap. It's like 2 cups of coffee. There's contact info at the homepage. If you help us find a sponsor, we'll give you a commission based on the ad buy. So keep that in mind. If you know a business that gets outside the box advertising, lots of social media love, let them know about us. We'll take it from there. Till next time, till next week, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
The Toddcast Podcast. Keep in touch with Todd through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and bookmark toddhancock.ca.
You've watched them from the outside your whole life. On TV, on stage, on the cover. The success that always looks like it happened to someone on a different planet. But what if it didn't? I'm Evelyn, and I've spent over 25 years in entertainment, producing for some of the biggest names in Hollywood. And here's what I learned. The distance between you and them, it's a lot shorter than anyone's letting on. On my podcast, Reppin', I sit down with the people you've been watching, and I ask them who they actually are. Not the brand, the person. Where they started, what it cost them, what almost broke them. Their grit, their courage, their resilience, and the lessons they've learned, it's all yours for the taking. Reppin', wherever you listen.
Hi, listeners. We want to tell you about a podcast we love. It's called Rebel Girls, formerly known as Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. It's about real-life women who are changing the world with their courage, creativity, and big, bold ideas. Want to know how Taylor Swift became a superstar? Or hear how Simone Biles became the greatest athlete of all time? From immersive stories to heartfelt interviews to super smart advice, Rebel Girls brings you stories that will get you fired up to become your best self. There are over 400 episodes for you to explore, with new episodes every week. So check it out. Listen to Rebel Girls wherever you get your podcasts. And find us on youtube.com/rebelgirls. And whatever you do, stay rebel.
Do you ever watch a TV show set in a historical time period and think, how accurate is this really? But also, does it matter if it's accurate or not?
Nefertiti is a new podcast about shows set in ancient times. This season, we're recapping every episode of the show Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
I'm Ann Foster, and I have never seen this show before.
And I'm Gina Berry, and I have watched this show maybe too many times.
Join us every other Monday on the Nefertiti podcast as we discuss the real history behind Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
Follow Nefertiti, that's NEFER TV, wherever you get your podcasts.